Listen to me closely, because what I'm about to say is not motivation, it's a memory waking up inside you. I wasn't always this woman, calm, magnetic, aligned. I was once drowning in overthinking, chasing, forcing, begging life to work in my favor, until the day I realized something that shattered my old reality. My thoughts were not innocent, they were creative forces. Manifestation 101 didn't begin for me with vision boards or affirmations, it began the moment I stopped fighting and started feeling. Feminine energy taught me that reality doesn't respond to desperation, it responds to certainty, to embodiment, to the silent knowing that what is meant for me cannot miss me. I learned that every thought I repeated was a command, every emotion I sustained was a signal, and life, this intelligent, breathing universe, was listening. When I thought like a woman who feared abandonment, I attracted absence. When I thought like a woman who doubted her worth, I attracted half-love. But the day I chose thoughts rooted in self-trust, softness, and deep inner safety, everything shifted. Opportunities began to chase me. People reflected my value back to me. Money flowed without struggle. Love arrived without force. I didn't manifest by pushing, I manifested by becoming. Feminine energy is not weak, it is gravitational. It doesn't scream, it whispers, and the world rearranges itself to listen. I stopped asking how and started asking, who am I being while I wait? Because manifestation is not about controlling outcomes, it's about aligning your inner world so precisely that the outer world has no choice but to follow. My thoughts became slower, richer, more intentional. I spoke to myself like a woman who was already chosen, already supported, already held by life. And that's when reality mirrored me back. This is not magic, this is law. What you consistently think, you eventually live. What you emotionally rehearse, you physically experience. And once you understand that your mind is the womb where reality is conceived, you will never think casually again. This is how my awakening began, soft, powerful, undeniable, and if you're listening to this right now, it's because your old reality is already dissolving, making space for the woman you are about to become. Part 2, the next chapter of my awakening was learning the rules, sacred, feminine rules. That manifestation obeys, whether you believe in them or not, and the first one humbled me completely. Trust God's timing, not your anxiety. I learned that when I rushed, life resisted, and when I surrendered, life delivered. Divine timing is not delay, it is precision, and feminine energy understands that what arrives too early cannot stay. I stopped obsessively checking signs and started becoming the sign. I stopped asking the universe, where is it? And started asking myself, am I ready to hold it? Another rule revealed itself quietly: you cannot manifest what you don't feel safe receiving. If deep inside you believe love leaves, money disappears, or happiness is temporary, your thoughts will recreate that pattern again and again. So I rewired my inner world first. I chose faith over fear. I chose gratitude before proof. I chose peace even when nothing made sense. And this is crucial: detachment is not indifference, it is trust. Feminine energy doesn't cling, it allows. The moment I released the need to control outcomes, outcomes aligned. I also learned that words spoken in emotion are powerful spells. When I complained, I manifested chaos. When I affirmed with conviction, I manifested clarity. Another law became undeniable: God, the universe, source, whatever name you give it, responds to your self-concept faster than your desires. When I saw myself as divinely supported, life supported me. When I saw myself as chosen, doors opened without knocking. And patience became my power. I understood that seeds grow in silence, not by being dug up every day to check progress. Feminine manifestation is devotion without desperation, faith without force, belief without evidence. I aligned my thoughts with trust, my emotions with gratitude, and my actions with ease. And suddenly, miracles felt normal. This is the truth they don't teach you. When you trust God's timing, reality bends gently in your favor, because nothing meant for a woman who believes can ever pass her by. As I went deeper, more rules revealed themselves, not loudly, but through lived experience, and one of the most powerful was this: Your nervous system must feel safe for miracles to stay. I realized manifestation doesn't respond to chaos disguised as ambition, it responds to regulation, softness, and presence. When I was constantly stressed, my thoughts were loud but empty, and reality mirrored that noise back to me. So I learned to slow down, to breathe, to let my body believe before my mind tried to convince. Another sacred rule unfolded: you do not attract what you want, you attract what you are willing to tolerate. The moment I raised my standards internally, what I allowed in my thoughts, conversations, and energy, life upgraded around me. Feminine energy is deeply selective. It says no without guilt and yes without fear. I also learned that imagination is not fantasy, it is rehearsal. Every scene I replayed with emotion became familiar to my subconscious, and familiarity turns into fate. But here's the part that changed everything: inspired action comes after alignment, not before. I stopped forcing moves from fear and started moving only when my body felt calm, expanded, and clear. And when I did, the right people, the right timing, the right opportunities met me halfway. Another rule: comparison kills magnetism. The moment I envied another woman's life, I disconnected from my own power. When I honored my unique rhythm, my path accelerated. And finally, this truth anchored me: consistency beats intensity. A woman who gently believes every day manifests faster than one who panics once a week. Feminine manifestation is devotion to your inner world, loyalty to your self-worth, and radical responsibility for your thoughts. When you master these rules, reality stops feeling random and starts feeling responsive. This is when you understand, you were never meant to chase life. You were meant to become so aligned that life recognizes you and comes home. Before I tell you how manifestation truly works, let me ground you in the rules that changed my life, because feminine power thrives on clarity. Rule 1: trust divine timing without trying to interfere. Rule 2: feel safe in your body before asking for more. Rule 3: detach from outcome but stay devoted to the vision. Rule 4: raise your self-concept before raising your desires. Rule 5: embody, don't chase. Now listen carefully, because this is where everything clicks. Manifestation is not the act of wanting, it is the art of becoming. It works when a thought is repeated so gently and consistently that the subconscious accepts it as truth, and once the subconscious believes, it instructs your emotions, your actions, your choices, and finally reality follows. Thoughts are seeds, emotions are water, and feminine energy is the womb that holds the vision without panic. When I thought from lack, my body tightened, my energy repelled, and life mirrored resistance. But when I thought from wholeness, when my thoughts sounded like "it's already handled, I am supported, what's meant for me is unfolding," my nervous system relaxed, my actions became inspired instead of forced, and opportunities appeared as if summoned. Manifestation works because the universe responds to coherence. When your thoughts, feelings, and identity tell the same story, reality has no option but to agree. This is why effort without alignment exhausts you, but alignment without effort moves mountains. Feminine energy doesn't manifest by obsession, it manifests by assumption. You assume it's done, you live as if you're held, you move as a woman who trusts, and life reorganizes itself around that frequency. That's the secret: reality is not responding to your words, it's responding to your state of being. And once you master your inner world with softness, faith, and self-respect, manifestation stops feeling like a technique and starts feeling like your natural language with the universe. Now listen, this is the final transmission, the part that turns knowledge into power. Manifestation begins the moment you decide to treat your inner world as sacred. You do not manifest by repeating words mechanically, you manifest by choosing thoughts that feel like home in your body. Sit with your desire, not in hunger, but in reverence, and ask yourself, if this were already mine, how would I breathe, how would I move, how would I speak to myself? Then become that woman now. This is the practice: think from fulfillment, feel from safety, act from intuition. Speak to your mind like a lover, not a critic. Visualize, yes, but more importantly, normalize the vision. Let it feel ordinary, expected, inevitable. When doubt arises, don't fight it, soften into faith and remind yourself that the universe is not testing you, it is responding to you. Release timelines, because feminine power knows that what arrives naturally arrives permanently. Every night, fall asleep in gratitude for what is already unfolding unseen. Every morning, choose one thought that aligns you with trust and carry it like perfume through your day. This is how manifestation becomes effortless, when desire meets devotion, when belief replaces urgency, when your energy whispers instead of begs. And here is the mind-blowing truth I leave you with: you were never meant to manifest things, you were meant to remember who you are. A woman who trusts, who allows, who knows. When you embody that, life doesn't just give you what you want, it gives you more than you ever imagined, because reality cannot deny a woman who is fully aligned with herself.